Bigger turnout, but because of the weather and many other reasons, I believe the turnout is what we see right now.
But we still got spirit.
But we still got, you know what I'm saying, people here supporting Constance and the Grant family, so that's what's good about it. And basically, what we need to do is work on probably using our network to spread out this, information about any other events that we got going on, the Ramadi Corps, and everybody else that's involved, so we can have more people out here next time. But what we're gonna do today basically is gonna be more like of a speak out thing. So it's gonna be like an open mic. Everybody that want to say something can say something, and let Constance know how we feel. Let her know that no matter what, we want to have her back until the end of all this craziness that's going on, dealing with Richard Hayes and his indictment being thrown out, and that we're going to support her until we get reconvene on the indictment or some form of justice, that we find Richard Hayes locked up and paying for the crime of murdering Ramadi Grant. And yeah, so basically I just wanted to share that with y'all, and thanks for everybody that came and that's coming and that will continue to come. And I'm gonna give you Constance so she can say a few things and then we'll move on from that.
Hello everybody, thank you for being here. As we're saying, it's low numbers, but the number doesn't make a difference, because even if we have 2 people, we're going to still be out here fighting for justice for Ramadi. But justice for Ramadi is justice for all.
Yes.
I just want to say, we're going to do like 14 weeks of rally because of the 14 months that we waited to get the indictment. So remember when Ramadi died, we did 18 rally. So this time we're going to do 14 because of the 14 months that we stood around and wait for them to give us the indictment, and they ripped it away from us. It's hard enough to get an indictment, and for them to do that, I look at it like it's a detour. Cause we gonna find some way to go around it, and we're gonna get justice. No matter how long it takes, we're gonna get justice. Like I said, justice for one is justice for all, because we can't sit around every day and let them murder our kids. Every day you walk out the street on the TV, you see something else about a kid getting murdered, and the police always get away with it. I don't know what's going on with the judge and the DA, because it seems like the court system only works for the police. It doesn't work for us. The only time it works for us is when we're going behind bars. That's right. And I don't think that's as fair, because when I came to this country, I came in, I was 13 years old, and I used to see police in the community, playing with cops, and the cops will have their hat on the kids, and we don't see that anymore. All we see is them jacking up against the kids against the wall and searching them, doing all kind of craziness to them. And this is not what this country is about. It's about free speech, and we should be able to to talk to officer without them pushing up against the wall and telling them shut the F up and all this other nonsense that they deal with. And these are the same people we pay to protect us, and these are the same ones that's killing us. So how could we trust them when they start running up in your house and murdering your own kids? There's no way we could trust these people. We know we need them, but the rate they going, how could we trust them? They're killing us every day, and none of these cops are paying the price for it. Every day you turn around, you see they get indictment, you get thrown out. Even if he probably even get indictment just by them looking at the case and they throwing it out. They believe the cops, whatever the cops tell them, that's what they believe. But us, they doesn't listen to us. And it's time for them to start listening to us. Because if they keep killing our kids, we won't have any future, and the kids are our future. And we seem to that getting stripped away from us little by little, just like our rights getting stripped away little by little. And I don't think it's fair. Like I said, when I first came to this country, we hear about this beautiful country, America. Everybody want to come to America, but we need to really start putting the true American out there, because it's not what it's cracked up to be. You can't sit in your house and people killing you and they don't go to jail. This is nonsense. It can't keep happening. And I'm saying it's a small crowd out here, but we have to, get up and stand up. By modesty, you have to get up and stand up for your rights, and that's what I believe in, because I'm a Jamaican, and that's what we believe in. You get up and you stand up for your rights. And we, as Americans, we have to start standing up for our rights and let the cops know enough is enough. You can't keep killing our kids and get away with it. The judge is the same thing. They sit on that podium and the sound behind them, and God we trust, but we can't even trust you because you never give them a fair trial. You're not giving us the opportunity to go out there and let these officers come into court and tell us what happened. You know, why they did what they did. They just give them a slap on the wrist and expect you to go through a lawsuit. Lawsuit doesn't matter. It can't bring my child back. That's blood money. That I can't live and say I live happy, because that's not going to make me happy. My kids make me happy. And right now I'm not happy because my kids is not here. My child is not here. All right, I'm just going to end on that note. Anybody that have anything want to say, the mic is yours. You come up and speak about what you want, because this is the time to let your voice be heard. Thank you.
So we're going to have our sister, our comrade sister, Josana. If I'm saying it right.
Thank you. Hi everyone. Folks, most of you guys know who I am. I'm Dilsan. I work with an organization called the Justice Committee. It was founded back in the 80s by former Young Lords, Richie Perez and Vicente Panama Alba. We've been doing work to organize against police violence and to support victims and family members for a while. We have the pleasure of and the honor of meeting Frank and Constance and other family members, Constance and everyone else, and getting to know these great leaders and feel really inspired by them. And I know it's a small turnout today, but I think it's okay. And part of why I think it's okay is because we're going to use this moment right now to figure out how we can keep pushing. So folks know we have to keep the pressure on. We've been doing actions, telling folks to call, fax, email the DA, telling them that they have to reconvene a grand jury to indict Richard Hayes, and the only way that they're going to do it is if they feel like they have no other choice. And the only way that they're going to do it and feel like they have no other choice is if we keep the pressure on. So what I want to do right now is I want to get everyone to make a commitment to tomorrow call, fax, or email the district attorney and tell them that they have to reconvene a grand jury right now and that they have to do their job and indict Richard Hayes. We won't take any more mistakes. So, everyone here, can you make that commitment? Call,
Yes.
email, or fax.
Yes.
Yes.
The second thing that I want folks to do is make a commitment right now to tell at least 2 other people to call, fax, or email the DA. Do you all think you can do it?
Yes.
Yes.
So tomorrow you're going to do what? Call, fax, email the DA, find 2 people who can do it as well, and then find 5 people that are going to come out to the next rally on the 27th.
Give them the number. Give them a number.
To call. I don't have the number with me, but you can find it on Facebook, on the Ramarley's Call website, on the Ramarley's Call Facebook page.
So we can send it out again.
And we'll send it out again. In fact, we'll send it out again. That will be my commitment. We will send it out again tomorrow. And just remember that this is a long-term struggle. And so folks have to keep up their energy, and they have to keep reaching out to folks in your community, to your neighbors, to your loved ones, and let them know why this is an important issue. Because we have an opportunity with this case to demonstrate that the people of New York will not take it anymore, and that we will hold the police accountable at all costs. And if we can do this, it's going to make it better for the next family who loses a loved one. And if we keep fighting, eventually we're going to get to a place where we have taken our city back.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you, son. Anybody else want to say something?
I was going to... Yeah, I met somebody probably a few days back who kind of inspired me, and when I looked up her case in Dateline, it was really touching too. We're dealing with a lot of issues out here, especially when it comes to police brutality, from people being assaulted, from people being criminalized, and from people being put in prison for crimes that they didn't even commit. So all this ties together to the brutal murder of Ramali Graham and many other children out here. So I'm gonna let someone come up here and speak about her husband, who has been forcibly incarcerated. When I seen that documentary in Dateline, it really touched me, and from this day forward I will be speaking about that. So can she come up and say a few words about it? I'll let her tell you all the information about it.
Hi, my name is Zulay Velasquez. husband is John Adrian Velasquez. You can find him on Facebook free, JON-Adrian Velasquez, VELAZQUEZ. Wrongfully convicted of a crime he didn't commit, botched robbery on 125th Street and Frederick Douglass. Was a retired cop that was running an illegal gambling debt, and no one was charged once this crime was committed. And my husband, after the eyewitnessed an individual, male black, with dreads. All the witnesses ID'd this person and then turned their story around after cops and prosecutors coerced them to change their testimony to my husband. And deals were even made to get them, different charges that they had dropped, and housing, rape charges dropped. It's amazing. But at any rate, my husband went into the courtroom, not the courtroom, to the precinct, because they were looking for him, because he did nothing wrong, and he knew that he would be home. He would finish, participate in the lineup, and would go home. But my husband didn't make it out of that courtroom, that precinct. And he's done 15 years out of 25 life sentence. And currently we're at the Supreme Court and we're waiting for a date for retrial. He's an innocent man and he doesn't deserve to be in prison. And he's not alone, because this happens quite often. And it's the money. There's no investigation, proper investigation. You don't have the money to pay for your private lawyers, then you end up wrongfully convicted, unfortunately. And since then, all, except I think one of the witnesses, have recanted their story. There's no DNA evidence. It's solely eyewitness identification. And all of them have recanted. And there's a Dateline documentary that can be found on his website. A 10-year investigation that was conducted by Dateline. And anyone could be the judge of it. I mean, Jose's seen it. And it's amazing. I've had friends that told me, well, you know what, I didn't believe you. They say, yeah, right, he's innocent. All right, I don't believe her. Once they see the documentary for themselves, they're able to see that this was amazing. How they convicted my husband, you can't really understand it once you watch it. And his website is freejohnadrianvelasquez.org. Okay.
Yeah, I wanted her to share that story because it shows you that there's no accountability from this system, especially when it has to do with somebody that works for this system, either a law enforcement or some type of security agency or something. So that's just a prime example of what kind of system we're dealing with and the fight that we got ahead of us dealing with getting justice for Ramali Graham. So we have to understand that this is going to be a very hard fight. It's not going to be easy. A lot of times we're going to feel like there's no wins in this, but what's important is that no matter how many obstacles they place in our path, we have to understand that we have to circumvent them and keep moving forward until we make something happen. And like I always say, the power lies in the people. So we keep uniting, we keep gathering together, we keep making the crowd bigger. Eventually the pressure builds up to the point where they have no choice but to answer our call for justice.
Hello everyone, my name is Constance, and I'd like to thank everyone for coming out tonight. And as Constance said, this will be one of the 14th, as a matter of fact, this kicks off the 14th rallies that we're going to have for the 14 months that we waited to get the indictment thrown out. I remember when Ramali just died, and we were doing the marches, it thunderstormed, it rained, cats and dogs, and we had a lot of people out here. Maybe this wasn't publicized a lot, but you know what? Numbers do count. So when you leave here tonight, do go out and tell your friends, tell your family members to come out and support Constance, because the fight still goes on. So this is the introduction. the first rally we're kicking off at 125th and Adam Clayton Boulevard on June 27th. That's between 5 and 7. So if you don't know the area, you can come here and get the information and go down there, because we will gather there and we just rally there and march there and make our voice heard. And then after that, then there will be every other 2 weeks. It will be every other week. Every other week.
Every 2 weeks.
Every 2 weeks. It will be every 2 weeks, and the announcement will go out every time we gather. So please, we are asking for the community support and everybody's support to come out and just rally for Ramali. Thank you.
Anybody else?
Hello everyone, my name is Sinafu. I've been a member of Ramali's Call since the beginning. I remember how it happened, when it happened. I was in the neighborhood and I heard, there was going to be this big rally. Someone was murdered by the cops, and I came, and there was a massive crowd of angry youth and people just tired, and must have been 100 or more people there. And we had so many rallies and so much support from many people and all kinds of organizations and all walks of life, all races of people together. And I'm just like being here and going and knowing what we've been through for this past year of getting Richard Hayes indicted and not indicted, and going through this struggle, and knowing about other victims of police brutality and racism that we are dealing with, and hearing our sister Sori over here, who is going through this battle with her husband. I mean, I'm feeling like I just know that this system is not made for us. This system was just made for the few to thrive out of the many, which means the many must suffer in this system. And that's everyone, and that's the majority must suffer so that they can have their laws, make them and break them for themselves. And the most important thing that we can do is unite with each other, and just realize that we are in this together, and that this is not going to end until we decide that it's over, until we decide that the next victim is the last one. We have to really unite, because there's going to be more victims, there's going to be more police murders, and it's not going to end until we all just finally get together and really have the last rally, the last march, the last protest that will end. I just want to have some real justice, and I guess I'm quite bitter about how things are going, but I just know that if we're going to get through this, it has to be with the people. I think the people is the ones who really are genuinely behind us, who genuinely want to see our best interests at heart. And I just want to, thank everyone for coming and supporting the family. And, this is not just about Ramali. This is about all the victims who suffer from racism and police brutality. And we just have to keep on fighting until the war is won.